Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm Sister Ann Shields, and welcome again to Food for the Journey. We continue now with the 32nd chapter of Genesis, verses 23 to 33. In the course of the night, Jacob arose, took his 2 wives with the 2 maidservants and his 11 children, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. After he had taken them across the stream and had brought over all his possessions, Jacob was left there alone. And then some man wrestled with him until the break of dawn. When the man saw that he could not prevail over him, he struck Jacob's hip at its socket so that the hip socket was wrenched as they wrestled. The man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go until you bless me." And the man asked, "What is your name?" And he answered, "Jacob." Then the man said, "You shall no longer be spoken of as Jacob, but as Israel, because you have contended with divine and human beings and have prevailed." Jacob then answered him, "Do tell me your name, please." He answered, "Why should you want to know my name?" See, to know someone's name gave you a kind of ownership. A name was very important. If you knew another's name in that culture, it gave you a kind of ownership. "Why should you want to know my name?" And with that, he bade him farewell. Jacob named the place Peniel, because I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been spared. Whether it was God or whether it was an angel, someone wrestled with Jacob, and he prevailed. All of us, brothers and sisters, to put this on another level, all of us have to fight strong forces in our lives, the forces in our lives that contend between good and evil. Some of them are internal to us, some of them are external. Don't ever give up fighting the work of evil in your life, whether it's internal or external. Don't ever give up fighting it in the power of God's name, under His authority. Don't ever try to fight evil on your own, whatever form it takes. Go to God. Ask for power, ask for strength, ask for wisdom, ask for courage. And it's oftentimes, isn't it true, at night, when things are quiet around us, or at least more quiet than they are during the day, that thoughts, desires, pain just assumes a much larger portion of our thinking. And it can overwhelm us some nights. We can feel like we're oppressed, deeply oppressed by fears and concerns for ourselves, for others, for finances, for relationships, for job situations, whatever the case may be. Or we've experienced betrayal. And those things we wrestle with a lot. And many times in the night, we're most vulnerable. That's when you want to say, "I am not alone. God, you are ever at my side. Let me fight either this evil thought, evil desire, this sense of depression and despair, of anger and hatred and bitterness. Lord, help me to fight it. Help me to fight it in your name and in your power." You will know the grace and mercy of God. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I have to get up and I just have to walk around. And I have to say, "Lord, I know that you're in charge. I know that you're the authority in my life and in our lives. You are the authority. You are in charge. I am not alone. Even though circumstances make me want to think I'm alone, I'm not alone. You are with me. Send your angels to guard me and defend me against the work of the enemy. Protect me, Lord." And when I pray like that, there is a peace that comes. Middle of the night is not the time to reason out and work out everything. It just, your mind isn't clear. Things are out of proportion. Ask God for grace and peace so that you can sleep. And then you're in a position where in the light of day, you can look at the thing more clearly, the situation or person more clearly, and hear the Lord on what to do about it. Don't try to do that in the middle of the night. At sunrise, as he left Peniel, Jacob limped along because of his hip. That is why to this day the children of Israel do not eat the sciatic muscle that is on the hip socket, inasmuch as Jacob's hip socket was struck at the sciatic muscle. We have to trust God. Sometimes, brothers and sisters, when we've wrestled with God, we know God wants something and we don't want it. Sometimes we limp after a battle like that, don't we? Maybe not physically, but we limp. We're sore. We've fought a battle. Hopefully we gave in to the Lord, but we limp. And that limp is often a reminder to us, brothers and sisters. It's often a reminder that the Lord has, in a certain way, that the Lord has touched us, that the Lord cares for us, that the Lord gives us some sign that basically says, depend on me. Depend on me. Trust me. See, if we fight a battle and we win it and we're victorious, what do? We put all our confidence in myself. I did it. I conquered it. I made it. It's mine. That's dangerous. But when we come out of something victorious but limping, we've learned something. And we know that the power is not in us. The power is in Him. Let's take a lesson from that. For Jacob, he always limped. I know in my spirit or in my mind, there are certain wounds there from my own past battles with evil and my own inability to trust the Lord instead of trusting myself. I trusted myself, and I've got some wounds in my heart because that's not where I should put my trust. I put my trust in Him, and He will see me safely through. And I know that there are wounds, so to speak, perhaps not on my body, though there are some actually on my body in one way, but in my spirit, in my soul, there are wounds. And what they do for me is make me more humble. To say, don't go down that road again, don't do this, don't think that way, don't come to this conclusion. Trust Him. And the more I trust Him, the more peace there is, the more hope there is, the more success there is. Trust Him. Don't be afraid of the wounds. They can be, I've found that the wounds in my life can be, through that opening, God can enter into my life more deeply and establish His lordship over my life more fully. So don't be afraid of the wounds. God can work great good out of them. The Gospel of Matthew, chapter 9, verses 32 to 38. A demoniac who could not speak was brought to Jesus. And when the demon was driven out, the mute man spoke. The crowds were amazed and said, "Nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel." But the Pharisees said, "He drives out demons by the prince of demons." In other words, he can get rid of Satan in one expression because at his root, he's Satan too. That's blasphemy. To take an action of God and call it coming from the devil. A lot of people do that. That has to come out of the devil. That's from hell. And actually, it's a gift from God if we can look at the gift with faith. It takes discernment. It takes wisdom. Nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel. But the Pharisees said, "He drives out demons by the prince of demons." In other words, he's under the control of the devil. Jesus went around in all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and curing every disease and illness. At the sight of the crowds, his heart was moved with pity for them because they were troubled and abandoned like sheep without a shepherd. Are you troubled or abandoned? Do you know your shepherd? Ask God to help you. It's that simple. Open your heart to God and ask God, show me that you're my shepherd. Show me that I'm not alone. And then he said to his disciples, the harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. So ask the master of the harvest to send out laborers for his harvest. The laborers are few because there are very few people of faith. There are very few people who will open their lives to the Lord. They've given in to their wounds. They've given in to their own sins and their own weaknesses. They don't want to know about God, or they feel hopeless. God can touch those people right where they are, but some people choose to remain there because they have no faith that there's something better or bigger, that there's something wonderful for them if they would entrust themselves to the Lord. So the laborers are few who will go out and tell the good news. Are you a laborer in the vineyard of the Lord or not? I want everybody who listens to this program to be a real laborer in the vineyard of the Lord. Learn from him. Receive from him. Bring all your cares to him, all your needs, all your circumstances. Just keep pleading with him. Teach me, show me, help me. And when he sees that you're really serious about it, he will. He will help you. And he will help you in ways beyond your imagining. Psalm 17 for today says, in justice, I shall behold your face, O Lord. One day, you and I are going to see the face of God. And we're going to be judged. Is that face going to be a face of kindness and mercy, forgiveness, gentleness, patience, kindness? Yes, it is, for those who put their trust in him. For those who put their faith in him and in his word, God will be a merciful judge. That's what you and I most need. That's what we're living for. You know, we're listening, I'm speaking and you're listening to this program today. You and I are going to live forever. You and I are going to know one another one day in the kingdom of heaven. This is really true. It's not some fairy tale. It's not pretense to get you through this life. It's not a drug to get you through the circumstances of life. It's the truth. There is a God who loves you. There is a God who wants to shepherd you. There is a God who wants to guide you. There is a God who wants to even take your hand and show you. But we have to decide to come to him in faith and say, I need you to be my shepherd. Because most of us, as the gospel says today, are troubled and abandoned like sheep without a shepherd because they've rejected him or they have never heard of him. Both those things we can help to remedy. We can help to be instruments of God if we put our faith in him. Ask God for more. Ask God for the grace to believe in him. God bless you.